the broadcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
This is season 7, episode 16. Not a particularly spooky number, but we'll take it. Number 286. How's it going? We are joined live over Zoom for our annual costume party. In order of appearance on my screen, we have Ro and Kayla and Greg and Matt and Allie. Hello! Woo!
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween.
Spooky time.
So I am dressed as Winnie Sanderson. I know it's very basic bitch costume for this year, but here we are. It's not my actual costume for when we trick or treat. I saved something particularly embarrassing to take Zachary around with for that.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what it is.
I'll just tell you now.
Okay.
Jay and I are going to be Ken and Barbie from Toy Story 3. So if you look it up, that's the Barbie with the blue unitard that goes all the way down with the big 80s rainbow socks. And the belt.
Yes. Oh, I love this.
I'm
Nice.
very excited.
Nice.
I was a little worried. But the belt is very forgiving. It's very big. It's very thick. Yeah, I know. That's what she said. Covers all the bad spots.
Nice.
But in preparation, actually, I've decided to drink non-alcoholic beer all week. Which I feel like I should PSA this because I heard a PSA on a podcast about it. It's Athletic Brewing. This is the IPA Run Wild, and it actually tastes like a real IPA with alcohol. So
Yeah, that's actually a really good brand. Daniel buys that every now and again.
yeah, and I bought some for my dad. He had the Pilsner version and said it was really good too. So anyway, I'm done talking. How are you?
Delightful. Excited to be here.
Indeed.
We have
Forgot about
Wednesday
that mug.
Addams.
That mug is so exciting.
I know.
I forgot all about it.
Unfortunately, it's just boring old Wegmans mixed berry sparkling water. But next week. Next week, after the unitard has been worn. Anyway, non-alcoholic beer was the amount of carbs I was willing to kind of give up. I know they're still in there, but, taking the bloat factor out. And then Amanda is a whole mood with crows.
I'm just kind of a Halloween vibe. I found this cool headband at Michael's and it's got bats and roses on it. And I just was like, that's going to be it. Just like the spirit of Halloween.
You kind of remind me of Counting Crows right now. Murder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could be that too.
What's the song? A Murder of One? A Murder of Crow. No. Yeah. There's a bird that sits inside you. I'm not going to sing the whole song, but you know what I'm talking about.
Sure don't. I'm just going with it. I am not as familiar with the Counting Crows catalog as you are.
Okay, well, their first album, August and Everything After, the song is called A Murder of One, but they're counting because a pack of crows is called a murder.
Right.
I guess, yeah. Anyway, there's your lots of lessons tonight. Very exciting content. Aren't you all glad you showed up? This is the best first 4 minutes of an episode we've ever had.
Indeed.
Maybe I should talk about how I had to put all my water in my dying plant before we started. What a
Really,
story.
it was very selfish of you. That plant was literally dying in front of your eyes, so you said.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a truly selfless act.
I did. I got real water, poured the whole cup in there. The end.
Hopefully you didn't drown it.
No, it absorbed it really quick. So I clearly I need to.
It was thirsty.
The problem is with this plant, I only need to water it like once a month. So sometimes I forget.
What kind of plant is it that you only water once a month?
It's one of those girl power plants that you get at like
Girl power plants.
Please continue.
the ones that they like have at Michael's or not Michael's. I got it. Okay, I got it at like TJ Maxx or Marshall's at like February Valentine's Day time. It's like one of those like girl power plants. I don't know. I don't know.
Still don't know what that. I'm still not familiar with that term.
I'll text my mom and be like, "Yo, the plant in here. What's it called?"
Is it just like a succulent?
No, it's one of those
That makes
famous
sense.
plants. It's one of the ones that are low maintenance, and I took it
A
home.
cactus?
Like a succulent?
No, I got it in February, and then I took it home for the pandemic and put it here. And I was very impressed that it's been 2.5 years that it was alive. But the flowers look like they're but the leaves, some of them are still green, so I know it's not full dead.
I think you're going to need to take a picture of this and post it on the Insta. I think the people need to see it. I need to see it.
And then I'll take the picture and put it into Seek and tell you what plant it is.
Ooh, that's smart.
It's like one of the it's like I mean, it looks very dead right now.
Cool.
My parents were here last week, and I totally forgot to take the golden shandy down.
Whoops.
So
Oh no! Were they shocked?
they didn't say anything. I don't think anything shocks them anymore. So
They're just like, that's about right.
yeah, I think that who knows? Who knows? They're not like go through your drawers kind of people, like legitimately. So I don't think they ever like went through my drawers and found it. But
It was just hanging out.
Nonetheless,
it was just a golden penis hanging out on the windowsill when they opened their blinds. They got here at night, so they didn't see it until the next morning. And we were being joined by Judy. Hello! Somebody else talk while I put my teeth in.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm gonna love it.
That's also a great background. Until you moved, I thought it was really just like a real background. That's
Oh, it's not?
Well, it's the wall that's the other direction from where I'm sitting.
so it is a real wall, just not the one you're currently actually sitting in front of in real life.
Yes.
That is very clever.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Kayla says, you can unmute yourself if you want to. I got my Winnie teeth in. Well, Judy hasn't hurt yet. Allison hasn't hurt yet either. Sisters! That's it. All I practiced saying was sisters. Nothing else. That's all.
That's all you need to. Get the
I
bit.
just said how I've given up putting away the boobs and dick stuff in my room when my parents come by.
Yes, but that's because they see your Instagram.
No.
Oh.
So, funny story is they have no idea. My mom has like a fake Facebook. I'm her only friend. She just uses it to stalk people. And so when I did my post last week coming out on social media, I figured they wouldn't see it. And like, I never really had like a full conversation with them, but like I've hinted at it over the years, and they were like, oh, like we knew, and like we were waiting for this to happen. And then they were like, yeah, we also kind of got a hint by your room as well. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So I see that we have 2 of the Sanderson sisters. Where is our third?
You know, at one
To the
point,
party.
before I realized how much money these stupid dresses cost, the wig was like $16. It came with the jewelry. It was nothing. But I was like, oh, I wonder if they're not expensive. I can just surprise Amanda and Shandy with the 2 different costumes. And I was totally going to be Sarah. Because I already have the blonde wig upstairs from when I was Bo Peep.
Yeah, just economical, really.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I have the dress. I just didn't put it on.
Oh, you gotta go put it on! Put it on!
I think we need
It's
to.
a little complicated to get into.
No,
I could imagine.
Okay.
That is true. But I love it. Anyway,
Good wig.
yeah. The wigs are great.
Very good.
I mean, this one's terrible, but your wig is great.
Yes.
Well, as long as you're not looking too close.
Is yours in the back all bald? Because mine's all bald in the back. That's how I knew what was the front.
It's not, but it's not great. I do have the little spider clip is good though.
Oh, I love that. I
That's
love
fun.
that.
I feel like
So-
you could recycle the spider clip for other costumes in the future.
Are you going to...
Or Ro can borrow it for her costume.
I
Yeah,
have
right.
a ton of spider rings. I've got.
Oh, spider
I love
fingers.
I buy these for my students every single year. So
You are like Zachary's worst nightmare right now.
Oh, I
He's
love
so scared of spiders. Unless if they're like outside and he's inside. Like, because in the cooler weather, we've had some beautiful like webs. Like there was one that was, I don't know, those of you who've been to my house here, we have the little playhouse on the deck, and then there's a tree that's like behind it. Some spider built this giant web from the tree to the playhouse. It is absolutely gorgeous. And then another one built one out front from the bushes to the little pole, which is also quite large. It's actually really, really cool.
Nice.
But,
Yeah. Just,
See, I can picture this perfectly because I was just at your house not too long ago.
Like a day.
Yesterday.
One might say yesterday.
One might.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I went
And a few days before that.
I went full mom on Shandy. I made her dinner. I brought her coffee.
Awesome.
With vegetables.
Oh, well, you know, that's important. Gotta have a vegetable on the plate.
I was very impressed you ate the vegetables first.
I love vegetables.
I was going to ask what the vegetable was.
Green beans. We rotate between green beans, broccoli. They like cucumbers. I like cucumbers too, but cucumbers are more like my morning veggie because they're lighter.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I was following that E2M program, which they have signups actually starting on the 31st. Starting on, I think the new round starts on the 31st, but it might start on Wednesday the 27th. But anyway, it's like they give you like the different lists of foods to eat each week, and it's basically carb cycling, but they like give you choices on what to do, and then you can make your own variants using the ingredients. It's actually very like there's a lot of options, but generally so it's one protein, one healthy fat, and one vegetable on each meal. So generally my vegetable in the morning will be either cucumbers or the green beans, and then Jay and I will do asparagus. The kids don't like the asparagus as much. I think it's just how it looks. And once in a while, I'll do baby carrots and dip them in the smashed guacamole. Smashed avocados that they sell the little individual packets at Costco, and they're great. So, anyway, nobody cares about that. We're here to talk about Halloween things. Taylor Swift's Midnights came out. I'm just driving everybody in my house insane by going around constantly singing, "It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me." And they're all like, "Is this the All Too Well?" And I was like, "This is not All Too Well." And they're like, "So shut up."
I have not listened to it. But
Yeah,
I
I was
also
gonna
have
say.
not listened to like 90% of Taylor Swift's catalog.
Yeah, same.
I did not
I
like
might have to be caught up.
the first time I listened to
Did
it.
she make a big announcement? Is she bi? What's going on?
Is she bi? I don't know.
No.
There were
Okay, so
rumors
she
that
did
she
that.
was dating Carly Kloss, who is now with a Kushner. So
Oh, gross.
clearly,
Oh, gross.
Taylor has that effect on people. I don't know.
I don't know. I just listened to Love It or Leave It just today. So
Oh,
I'm a couple
I mean-
days behind, and they. I don't know.
So as Kayla said in the chat, that's been a big rumor for a while. Yeah, so it has been a big rumor for years and years and years that she is bisexual. Whether or not it's true, I don't know.
So there was no announcement with the album. I was under the impression that there was going to be something announced in the music.
I feel like
No,
there's
some of
always
her
something
other-
announced, but it's usually like they done did me wrong.
No, some of her. No. Okay, not that I'm like in the Snake fam, but I follow the Snake fam and their drama.
I'm sorry, you
And-
said a lot of words that I don't understand.
Yeah.
So you know how Lady
I've heard
Gaga's.
them as words before, but never in that order.
Oh my God! You know how
Snake.
Lady Gaga's they're like little monsters. Well,
Yes.
after Taylor Swift was caught and Kim Kardashian released the receipts that she lied about the Kanye West thing with the song, I made that bitch famous, blah blah blah. She like used a snake emoji or something, so Taylor Swift's fans co-opted it, and now they're like the Snake fam is like their fandom name. Am I correct? Somebody out there know this? Okay, yeah, I'm getting thumbs up. So anyway,
Sometimes I feel very old.
Yeah.
It's very uncool.
I also feel like Lady Gaga's is a million times better.
Yeah, agreed. That's just
we don't
my
have to pit
personal
women
opinion.
against each other. They can both.
It's true.
be-
It's true. It's just my personal opinion.
Like,
No shade.
all right.
I honestly, I didn't even fully follow that story. Anyway, that is neither.
You don't have to because it was like so 6 years ago at this point, Shandy. Like, don't even worry about it. We've moved on, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. We're more in like Glitter and Quill album lyrics. You wouldn't get that reference either. I'm sorry. When did I become such a Taylor Swift know-it-all? I guess.
Are we talking about Counting Crows again? I don't know.
All right. We gotta focus. Anyway, I didn't like the first time I listened to it, I thought, oh, everything sounds the same. And on my third or fourth listen, it really kind of grew on me. And the way that it did grow on me was instead of my normal put on the 10-minute version of All Too Well and cut off a rotisserie on Sunday night, I put on the album so I couldn't skip ahead and was forced to listen to at least the first 3 songs. And then I kind of kept going while I was making Zach's lunch and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I like it now. The end.
Okay.
You know. All right. Everybody's looking at me funny. I want to move on. I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, don't be uncomfortable.
Oh my God. When have I ever been uncomfortable?
Knowledge.
I'm just going to chuck down my non-alcoholic beer and get back to work.
Nothing makes me sound hip and young and cool like my non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, man.
Oh, also, before I shut up and put my false teeth back in so I can't talk, shout out to Zachary's teacher who told them today that their costumes for next Monday have to be either a storybook character or a... There were 2 conditions, and both of them were, like, educational. Nice. And, oh, here comes Jay. Maybe he can
That's
answer.
great, but I feel like they need some... like prep time.
Right.
I mean, who am I kidding? The
well,
parents.
most of us have
Right,
bought.
the week before, like, Halloween costumes are expensive.
Hey, what did What did Zach's teacher say? He could only do a book character or a comic book character?
Yeah, had to be in some form of comic book or book media.
Yes, which is unfortunate for us because we got a costume that is a TV character and also a giant inflatable.
Right.
It sure was
SpongeBob.
not.
Tiny sphere
It's
of TV show
SpongeBob.
that's originally a TV show and not based off a book.
No, he is wearing
there's a SpongeBob book out there. If
Oh,
you
there
look.
is. But the problem is, it's one of those like inflatable costumes,
yeah.
like those inflatable T-Rex costumes. It's inflatable sponge. It's not a very functional costume.
It won't last past snack time.
Yeah. Everybody's costumes looks great. I have to jump because I'm actually doing another show that I said I would jump into, but everything looks great. Ro is great. Amanda, I'm trying to guess.
She's a mood.
Oh, I'm just a vibe.
I was feeling a vibe. Looks
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
Shandy, Wednesday Addams, Obvi. And then Judy.
You have never seen the movie.
What is that?
She's Kathy Newby's character from Hocus Pocus.
Okay. I thought it was like Hocus Pocus. Okay.
She's a sister.
I have no costume, but I do have my new lightsaber.
That's pretty impressive. That's good.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
I'm gonna go. Have fun. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, where were we? So anyway, we got to figure out a quick and easy and cheap and something available on Amazon Prime. Because we cannot be a giant blow-up SpongeBob. And yet they were tracked out until today. However, she was very capable of emailing us at any point.
Right. And like the email ain't broken.
That was my whole thing. I was like, this came in time. The Barbie costume came in time. Jay, I got him the shirt. Okay, so the shirt I ordered, it was some company that advertised being from Washington State, and I got it on Friday, and I was like, oh, plenty of time to get here. But no, they shipped from fucking China. So
I've been Halloween costume.
Super stressed out about that, but like everything else is here. So I was kind of relaxed, like, all right, whatever. At the worst case, we can get him just a generic shirt and pretend it's the Ken shirt. And now I find out today that my search is not over. I need to, A, get him to pick a character, which he does not want to do, and B, go find it.
Well, what if you just like Googled like DIY like literary costumes and then give him some options to pick from?
Yeah,
like
that's
suggestion. Like, how about this one or this one? That'd be super cool, buddy. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do that. My other like which he's not going to do, but like my Hail Mary was Alex's spider costume. Put that on Zachary and be like, "You're Charlotte from Charlotte's Web."
Or could you do a pig costume and he could be Wilbur?
Maybe. Or maybe I just, put a pig costume on his back, get him a snout, and then just write some pig on like a name tag on the front. Boom, done. Thanks, Amanda.
Done.
There you go.
Done.
Anyway, somebody else talk, please.
My daughter Molly, they did World Book Day or something at school, and they dressed up as book characters. And I put her in a dragon costume because she liked dragons love tacos. So
Oh, that is a great idea.
I made these little tacos out of felt. I just like glued tan, hot glued tan felt with brown puff balls in it to look like taco meat, and just made little.
Oh my God, I love this. I love
So
this.
that was easy because you could just buy the dragon costume, like just a one-piece dragon.
Oh, I'm already on Amazon. I have already found it. I love that idea.
It's good. It's good.
So,
There's also just a taco costume and a taco hat. Oh, thank you.
in there, yeah. I was just Molly's Girl Scout leader just emailed me yesterday. I'm supposed to bring snacks tomorrow, and they're like, "Oh, we have 5 more girls coming." Okay, I guess I'll make 5 more snacks. When I already had everything put together. Like, thanks.
Oh,
Nothing
Been
like
there.
the last minute.
Been there.
yeah, seriously.
Yeah, good times. Good times. All right. Yeah. Anybody have big Halloween plans or otherwise? I am dying to get into these spooky stories.
I just found out our neighborhood is doing their Halloween parade back after the pandemic. I'm so excited about it. I've never actually gone because pre-pandemic, I didn't have a kid. And so it was kind of creepy to just be like, I have to leave work early because my neighborhood has a little kid costume parade and I would like to go see it. But now I have a kid, so I have the golden ticket. I can go.
Yes.
I'm very excited about it.
What is eating
that's
going to
awesome.
be?
TBD. So
There's a
we
little
just-
kid's dragon costume on here. There's an infant one.
So we decided she was going to be a puppy because she's like obsessed with
that's right.
dogs. Obsessed with dogs. And we've been getting her to practice her woof woofing. It's very cute. It's very cute. So I was like, I'm gonna make her a costume. So I like bought a fuzzy like onesie and I was gonna like sew on ears. I got the felt and I like started doing it last weekend. Had to nope out of that real fast because it just didn't think about how like the ears that it came with do this and dog ears go sideways. So there was just no way to make that work. So then I had to bail. I had to accept defeat, and we ordered a costume on Amazon, which like puppy costumes, you'd think there'd be a lot of cute ones. They're not. There's a lot of crap. So it came this morning, and it was cuter than I thought it was going to be. Very itchy, like very itchy. Like a baby is supposed to wear this. Why is it made out of sandpaper? I don't know.
You're just going to have to douse her with baby powder beforehand.
Yeah, or just like she's going to have to wear a full long sleeve outfit.
Oh, that makes more sense. I'm sorry.
Costume.
I went old school Italian to my childhood solution, not like a normal solution that people.
I mean,
do
we might have
nowadays.
to do both. We might have to do both. But she came home. We showed her the costume. She was so excited about the big dog face. Then I was like, "Do you want to put it on?" And she's like, "No, super don't, super don't." Very scared. So we'll see. She has a costume if she's going to actually agree to put it on. She's very opinionated on clothes already. So TBD.
As long as you get a picture.
Got to get it on her first to get a picture.
That's true. But you could apply the, taking a picture with an animal rule wearing a costume. As long as there's a picture, everybody thinks that they wore it.
That's true. So even if she might just be holding it. She might just bring it to daycare and just be holding it.
Oh my gosh, she just holds his puppy head up.
Yeah. We got her some cute Halloween onesies, so she's gonna have like a Halloween outfit.
Yeah.
And then if we can get her to wear the dog costume too, great. If not, I don't know. Maybe she can wear this. Maybe she can wear the bats.
Good.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. It's gonna be great. Anyway, we're going to the parade whether we're costumed or not, and I'm super excited about it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anybody else dressing up or going to a party of any sort?
We're doing trick-or-treating for all our students. So undergrad through PhD.
Nice!
Awesome.
So fun.
That's awesome.
And tomorrow, for my students, I'm doing a pre-trick-or-treating dinner. What mom would feed you before you go out. So pasta, and good stuff to fill you up, and then tons of candy as well.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Oh my God.
Students were going gaga when they heard we were going to do trick-or-treating.
Oh.
Really trying to not make a going gaga or going T-swizzle. No, I'm just kidding. I said it anyway. Dude, that's awesome. I wish that I could have a grown-up trick-or-treating. But I guess that's just called raiding the candy basket after they go to bed.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got like 10 people in my department to be trick-or-treat stops.
Yes!
This is great. Oh my gosh, I
So,
love this.
I bought $400 of candy last week to distribute.
Candy is expensive. That's probably not even that much
Yes.
candy.
Candy is expensive.
Everyone
and it's
gets
always
one
been.
piece.
I haven't gotten the candy yet, but like I can't even imagine what inflation candy costs.
It's worse. I bought some candy and I was like, holy fucking shit, this is expensive. Like they weren't lying on all the podcasts about how expensive candy is. But it was expensive before. Every year I'm like, really?
Well, and nobody sells the cheap crap candy that you could only get on Halloween anymore either.
Yeah,
Like,
Zachary
everything's
lives
good.
for dots every year on Halloween because that's his favorite candy.
Yeah, every time
That
I say
I
that, I'm
found,
like,
that still
oh,
exists,
interesting.
but that's about the only one.
Really? Oh, because they do the little 2 dot per thing, right?
Yeah, so like the Child's Play pack that I think Target still has
Okay.
comes with the dots.
Okay, I think we still just, we don't do the Costco candy anymore because nobody comes to our house ever because we live like down in the middle of like a cul-de-sac in the woods. But we had the trunk or treat the last 2 years, so we had to buy the candy and like set up, and it was great because we actually got to give out candy and like, you know, do the whole thing. But yeah, now they're back to the hayride, so nobody will ever come to my house again, and we probably will just buy a small pack just in case. AKA when Zach, so we're gonna trick or treat in the neighborhood behind us. There's like a whole big thing there. And we'll just buy a small pack because when the kids come to get Zachary, we'll be like, "Here, you're our only trick-or-treaters."
Take a bunch.
But this year, I guess that's okay. Anyway, let's talk about scary shit.
Okay.
Let's talk about scary shit.
Okay, so, Shandy, specifically for you,
Okay.
I actually went through, I have 9 pages. I color-coded it. And everyone can make informed decisions here. So, if it's black, it's just an ordinary story. If it is blue, it's actually a positive story, but it doesn't really fit with the theme. And I figured we could save it for another day. If it is red, it's straight up about a ghost. And if it's green, it means it's okay to talk about tonight, but could fit in with another theme if you did it another night. And, oh no, I'm sorry, hold on. Green is not that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh, green
There's
is
so many-
happy. Green is happy ghost story.
Okay.
Okay.
Green is like
Ghost story.
happy ghost story, aka
Casper.
not scary.
Right.
Right? Like you saw a ghost and they gave you a high five and you
Also,
realized
it's
that they were
Christina
dead the
Ricci.
whole time.
Also, Christina Ricci.
Yes. Green is Christina Ricci. Red is scary ghost story.
Okay.
And blue is blue is miscellaneous.
Okay. I feel like that was a very exhaustive and comprehensive categories. I'm curious what would go into miscellaneous.
I pulled this shit in January, okay? January 24th was the day that I emailed these links to myself, so I had a lot of time to go through and categorize these.
I love it.
Yes.
I went through 8 different website postings today, and I didn't even open the 2 Reddit posts. Although I did go through one of the Reddit posts over the last 2 days, and these stories were fucking terrifying. And you know how I'm generally not affected by any of these? Well, because I haven't been drinking for the last 2 days because of said bodysuit, I've gone to bed and then woken up in the middle of the night remembering the things that I read right before bedtime. It's not a great plan. Don't recommend it. Anyway, So one day we might do those, but it might be during like a brunch, so we can all forget about it. We have to plan a spooky brunch one day.
That's
We
true. I
really
think
should.
We're due for a champagne brunch.
Yeah, it's been too
spooky
long.
Champagne brunch.
Okay, we can do a champagne brunch. Let me know. We could do one before the end of the year, even if you want.
I think we should.
Okay, or we can do one in early February because Jay and I might be going to Germany.
Oh,
And I think we would
nice.
leave on Monday, the 31st. I was
Where
looking at the
did-
dates.
I feel like I have so many follow-up questions that will just derail this whole episode. So let's put a pin in this and talk about it
It's
later.
for a toy show. It's literally as stupid as you would imagine. But
But it's
Germany.
Germany. Is it in Berlin?
no, Nuremberg.
Oh.
But the connecting flights back that I were looking for all go through Munich, and they all have 12-hour layovers in Munich. So I'm like, why don't we just take a
Yes.
train up the night before and just take that flight back home? Because that seems dumb to sleep in an airport for a night or go to a hotel and
Sure
back.
does.
Yes, Munich is the best. I look forward to going back someday. Such a cool city.
My only thing is, like, I was all gung-ho about it, and then once we got the actual, like, information, now I kind of have this, like, oh, I can't leave my kids alone on a different continent for a whole week. How's that gonna work?
They'll survive. You'll survive.
I know my coworker was like, it'll work because the days will go by and then you'll come home and see them. It's like, I guess so.
People have done such things with children younger than yours.
Very
They
true.
are self-sufficient. They will be fine.
Very true. So yeah, it would
You will
be
be
the
fine.
the
You'll have a great
30th
time.
or the 31st through that Sunday or Monday the 5th or the 6th. And then we would come back so we can make sure that we're back by Alex's birthday. I mean, I don't care where I spend my birthday. I can spend it in an airport if it means I'm in fucking Germany. But I do want to be here for Alex's birthday. So
It's a very short window
it is a short window.
of like being in an airport in Germany for your birthday and then back in time for it.
Well, no, because we would fly back on like because my birthday's on a
On your
Wednesday,
birthday,
so we'd
yeah.
fly back on like the Monday or the Tuesday to make sure that there was plenty of time for the 9th, the Thursday.
So okay.
So anyway, that's a thing that may happen. So we can do our
That's
brunch
fun.
either on February 4th before we leave. Nope, we're there. January 28th before we leave, or
Okay.
we can do an end of the year brunch, whatever, on like the 10th or the 17th.
Oh yeah, I like January. It could be kind of like a new year. Toast
Yeah.
a new year.
Are we all cool with a January brunch? Nope. Yeah, January. Sweet. And I'll read scary shit. Oh my god. That actually might be like the 1-year anniversary of when I email these things to myself.
That's perfect.
I think we should actually find that date and do that. I think
Okay.
that is so funny.
Because chances are I found it on a weekend night and I was just bored surfing. Oh my god. Okay, fine. And I'm going to read the scary shit. I mean, the stuff that kept me awake kind of over the last 2 nights.
Oh
Done.
dear. Okay.
No, these things were actually... I don't get scared easily. So I didn't pick any of those. I
Thank you.
specifically re-emailed that link to myself, and it was to save for a later date, hopefully. Because I knew...
For January 2023.
Right.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's do those. And this is probably going to take us out, because it's getting late. Okay, here we go. And again, these are all happy, not scary, because I was thinking of Shandy. If there's one that is borderline... I will let you know. I will trigger warning
Appreciate
you.
it.
You're welcome. Okay. This happened to me over 30 years ago. I overslept, but called in my bullshit story that I was running late due to my car stalling out in front of the church, thinking of little details to sell the lie. Small town, everyone knows the spot. The next day, on the way to work and on time, my car stalled the exact same spot. It would not start. It freaks me out so much that I avoid driving by that church to this day. So these were compiled. Most of them came from BuzzFeed, but they were BuzzFeed compiled them from Reddit threads, one of which is the one that I did not take any from or whatever. And that was by a user Silver Pickle. Great name.
That is a great name.
This one is by Constant Broccoli,
Sensing a
Good
theme
name.
here.
which might be something Zachary might scream at me someday. Like, why do we always have to eat broccoli? And I'll be like, I put so much olive oil on it that you have to like it. This one, my dad and I found a human tooth on the floor of his car. except no one in my family had lost any teeth recently. Your dad's a serial killer. I mean, right?
I mean, what else could it be?
He could be having an affair and had really weird, rough car sex, and somebody's tooth came out without. I don't know.
That's true, but
Or a secret Uber driver.
or a secret Uber driver.
Uber driver.
But in those cases, I'm gonna search for a tooth.
Maybe he did.
Just did a really terrible job.
Or didn't know that the passenger lost the tooth.
Yeah,
But if
maybe it like went under the seat, and then as they were driving, like you stop and a couple of times, and it rolls up.
I like the sex story better, and if I'm fucking someone who lost a teeth, I'm also gonna make sure that they find their fucking tooth before they leave my car. Because that is literal, physical, bodily evidence.
Yep.
Yeah. Gross.
All right. This next one is from Anonymous. My grandmother was very sick and dying for a few weeks leading up to her death. She would stare off into space and talk to dead relatives. She'd say things like, "I'll see you soon, Alice," or "I'm coming, Mabel." She'd always name deceased relatives. Then one day she started talking to her brother Henry. We thought it was weird because Henry was still alive. We got the call the next day that Henry had died the previous day. Ooh.
Dude, that book that I read about near-death experiences was kind of full of stories like that.
Yeah.
In a way.
My grandpa would call out things to people in the room, too.
Yeah.
And he would always ask us, do you hear the children laughing? Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, that's true. That happened. My mom then found some Catholic book that was like God appears as children or something and gave it to all of us to, give us comfort, which was very sweet. Let's see. Okay, so this next one is an example of our category blue, but I kept it just as a little taste warmer. Also,
I forget which one is blue. Miscellaneous, right?
no, miscellaneous is shit.
Magenta.
No, green is miscellaneous, I think. Fuck, blue was miscellaneous. No, blue is happy. Blue is happy ghost stories or happy or positive non-scary ones.
Okay.
That aren't lame, but just kind of like they're like university ones.
Ghosts are just like us.
Just like us. Here's an example of category blue. But I kept this in because the name of the person that submitted it is Colleen.
Oh.
And you all might recognize a story that I have told very similar. So I was like, holy shit. Okay, here we go.
Me.
My mom lost her wedding ring a few years after she and my dad were married. They tore the house apart but never found it. Eventually, they moved away and she got a new ring. A year or so afterward, my dad's mother died. A few days after the funeral, my dad was away and my mom fell asleep on the couch. She opened her eyes and saw her old wedding ring on the arm of the sofa. No one had been in the house except for her, and it had definitely not been there when she dozed off. My mom isn't religious, but she's convinced that her mother-in-law found it for her.
Oh, I like that story.
I figured you would. Kind of like my mom lost her wedding ring in the rest stop of a Virginia bathroom while I was in labor with Zachary. And then when we were moving 2 years later, I found it in a bag that had been under a table. And she had definitely lost it before she had gotten to her house and swears by it. And there's no reason why it even should be in that bag because it wasn't anything that she would have touched, but there it was.
Wow.
And it was just as she was inquiring about getting a new ring because it had been 2.5 years since she had lost it.
Wow.
And in its place, she had been wearing a ring that her grandmother, my great-grandmother, had gotten for her when she had gone back to Italy to visit family, and she came back, and she gave all of her granddaughters at the time, a ring. And that was the ring that she had been wearing. Yeah. Okay. This one is... I was driving to work one morning when a school bus suddenly overtook another parked bus and came straight for me with no possibility of me stopping in time. I was terrified and I closed my eyes expecting it to hit my car, but when I opened them again, I was a half a mile up the road. There's no possible way the bus could have managed to stop in time before hitting me, so to this day, I cannot explain what happened and how I ended up further up the road. Dun dun dun.
Wow.
All right. Next up. Back in 2017, my uncle died very unexpectedly. At the end of that year, I was on a class trip to the UK. And, oh, this is green. Happy ones. Also happier ones. Like, those were, like, kind of like fate ones. These are, like, happier ones. Anyway, it's just an example of what's to come in the future. At the end of that trip, I was on a class trip to the UK. We visited the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland. Ireland's a place my uncle wanted to visit but never got a chance to, so my aunt sent me with a necklace and some of his ashes. She asked if I could spread them while I was there, and I said of course. While walking around the cliffs of the Giant's Causeway, I found the perfect area overlooking the sea. My friends made a barrier around me, and I quickly gave a couple of taps to the necklace and screwed the cap back on. While we were around the bend to continue our exploration, I turned around to see a rainbow over the sea that hadn't been there 10 seconds before. I know it might sound like a coincidence to some people, but I like to think it was my uncle.
Oh, that's very sweet.
That's from Beatrice 4AF. Next one. I got a whole bunch of blue. I got to scroll down. My ex died in 2015. It was the single worst thing that had ever happened to me. He had joked that if he ever died, he would haunt me for fun. 2 nights after he died, I heard a noise outside, a familiar noise. Every time he would try to stand up from one of my patio chairs, his key ring would get stuck, and his guitar-shaped beer opener would make this certain metallic clang. This was, without a doubt, what I heard. Both dogs got up and started barking. I walked outside, and there was no one there. Ooh. I would haunt all of you for fun, by the way, as well.
As long as you were nice about it.
I'm at a couple of red. Anybody want to hear one spooky one? Give a thumbs up if you want a spooky one.
But then we got to follow it up with like a really sweet one.
There's a lot of sweet ones.
You know, I'm going to need a
Literally
chaser.
7 of these 9 pages are sweet ones.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just, so long as there's a chaser, I'm fine.
Okay. When I was a kid, my family moved into an apartment where a murder had been committed before we lived. Every night, my big sister would make me shut our bedroom window. And when I look outside, I'd see 3 faces staring back at me. They had no hair, noses, or mouths. They would just stare, but never did anything. Well, a few months back, my family was talking about the apartment, and I mentioned those faces. My sister turned to me shocked. She said she saw them too, and that's why she always asked me to close the window. Happy story.
Now I can't look out any of the windows.
Dude, you should be happy that I'm not reading the thread that I have saved for our party, our champagne brunch.
Don't look.
My mom bought me my first iPhone right before she passed away. After we lost her, I'd sometimes randomly find Siri open with a small conversation on the screen. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, sometimes, like, Siri hears it and, like, the text gets recorded, and then she's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. This happens to me all the time, and it's just gibberish. This happened a handful of times. One day, I was scared because I was starting a new job. I left my phone on my desk next to me. Siri was open, and the screen said, "What you doing?" I burst into tears because "what you doing" was the phrase my mom and I used to greet each other on the phone.
Oh. But that's kind of sweet. You know, it's like mom was there.
I think so, too.
Yeah, that's sweet.
A few years ago, my boyfriend and I inexplicably awoke in a panic in the middle of the night. We looked at each other, and at that moment, the large framed photo hanging on the wall crashed to the ground. I told him I'd been having a horrible nightmare where he was being stabbed to death. He freaked out and said that he'd been having the exact same dream, except I was the one being stabbed. Later on, we both heard my mom yelling downstairs. She sounded scared, and she kept calling my name. This was particularly scary because we lived in California and my mom lived in England. Nobody was inside the house but us. He refused to sleep at my house ever again. Solid choice. When my son was a few months old, I was trying to record his laugh on my phone. I used to bounce him on my knee and say numbers before each bounce. When I played the recording back, you could hear my son laughing as I count 1, 2, 3. And after I said 3, you could hear a man's voice clearly say 4. There was no one else in the house, and the TV wasn't on. When I played it for my friend, she got goosebumps.
I don't like that.
I don't like it.
Okay. Well, we'll get to a happy one. My grandfather was a jeweler and specialized in watches and clocks. When he died, all the timepieces in his house stopped at the hour of his death.
Ooh.
My mom swears up and down that she woke up in the middle of the night and her first thought was, we need to call and check on my father-in-law. When she turned over to wake my dad up, there was my grandpa! He was just standing over my dad looking at him while he slept. My mom screamed and he disappeared. Within a few minutes, my parents got a phone call from my grandma letting them know that that grandpa had just passed.
Oh my gosh.
But that one's kind of happy because he came back to see his son.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. This one's kind of a good one. It's not scary, is what I mean. Okay, this is also anonymous. When my dad was a teenager, his bedroom was outside in a shed because, teenage boys. One night, he woke up and looked out the window into the main house, and he saw his grandmother, who'd been dead for years, in the kitchen window. He freaked out and ran inside the house to see if it was really her. When he got into the kitchen, he looked out the window to see that his shed was in flames. It had somehow caught fire and completely burned down.
Oh my god.
So that saved him. That's happy.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We're almost done here. Oh, okay. This one is in the exact same vein as the last one.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I was playing at home and had a sudden urge to look over my shoulder. I saw what looked like a man in a suit step out of my closet. Years later, I woke up in the middle of the night and saw the same man from when I was a kid. I ran back into my room and shut the door. I never slept with the door closed, but that night I felt the urge to. A couple hours later, I woke up to the smoke alarm going off. I opened my bedroom door and the entire living room was engulfed in flames. I managed to escape through a window but lost the entire house to the fire. The firefighters said that if my door hadn't been closed, it was very likely I would have died from smoke inhalation. Thank you, creepy guardian angel in my closet, for saving my life.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, here's a happy one. And these next ones I kind of broke up. These are still black because they're happy, but they're glitches in the Matrix premonition kind of stories. The night before my grandfather died, I had a dream that I was in a funeral home talking to him while he sat in a coffin. We chatted for a while and he told me to call my mother. So the next morning I did, and she told me the news that he'd passed away. It's from Olivia M. On the day before my grandpa, this next one is from this is from the author of one of the BuzzFeed articles that I got it from. They preferenced like the clips they had gotten because this was their story. On the day before my grandfather's funeral, I got a call from an unknown number. They left a message, so I went to listen. There was a bit of static, then a distinct and familiar voice said, "Try to have a good day tomorrow." I hurled my phone across the room and called my dad into the room. I went to grab my phone and show him the message, but it was gone. I had been the last person to talk to my grandfather on the phone before he passed. I have to wonder if this was his way of finishing our last conversation.
Wow.
Okay, this next one's really funny, and I will leave it as a possible invitation for others to share similar stories. Okay. I was on the boardwalk at the beach with a friend, and she was texting on her phone. Well, for some reason I thought, what if a bird just took a shit directly on her phone? Not even 5 seconds later, a bird shat on her phone screen. Have any of you ever had that happen where, like, all of a sudden, like, you had this thought and it happened, like, immediately following? Really?
Probably.
This
Nothing
happens
comes
to me
mind.
all the
Yeah.
time. Like, when we're watching baseball games, I'm like, oh, this person's about to hit a home run. And then they'll hit a home run. And, like you just get the feeling. Like, I don't know. Nobody?
No.
Only with my kids saying, you probably shouldn't be running like that, and they trip and fall.
That's mom tuition.
Yeah.
Judy was
mine's
not.
more like watching something. Like I'll be watching a show and it's like, oh, this is going to happen next. Or like, oh, they're going to say this. But like, that's not the same thing.
Kind of counts. I don't know. All right. Well, I was just wondering if that happens to anybody else. Because it definitely happens to me. Judy, you were nodding.
Yeah, I mean, like yesterday, I was like oh, I need to call this person. And like 10 minutes later, they called me.
Ah, see? Speak of the devil. That is a story I have right here. Okay. This is by I Am Angeline. One evening I was getting out of a subway when I spotted an old friend who I hadn't seen in years heading into the subway too. I called out his name. He waves and makes the call me gesture. Subway doors closed and the subway rode off. 30 seconds later, my phone rang. It was my friend who told me he'd just seen me as he got on the train heading home from the bar. Apparently, I grinned, waved, and gestured, call me, and then the door shut and the train drove off. I live in Rotterdam. He was in Enschede. That's just over 125 miles apart. See? Ah, Judy gets it. I think we could probably stop there. None of the other ones that are left are as happy as those, and those feel pretty happy. Bird shitting on phone. That's a great place to stop.
Those were good. Those are really entertaining.
Thank you. Stay tuned for January where I read the really fucking creepy ones.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It'll be at like 11 a.m., so you'll all be fine by the time you go to sleep.
Plenty of champagne will just make it all go down the easier.
Yes.
Exactly.
Spoonful of champagne.
Yes.
All right. Well, on that note, I guess we can take a quick break, and then we can come back. We don't have a whole lot of feedback. We can bang through that pretty quick and finish up our Halloween show. All right. We are back. And before we get into some feedback, we have a message from Matt in the chat. Matt, would you like to just read it?
Sure. Yeah, I'll read it. We're kind of talking about ghost stories, but I was wondering if anybody else had heard the story. It's kind of been in the weird news lately about this old woman who died, and at her funeral, she gave out Ouija boards to the guests with a note saying, "Let's keep in touch."
That's amazing. I had not heard that.
But I want to do that. That's amazing.
I
That's so
saw
funny.
a picture with the story, and I don't know whether it was true, and it was like, like a greeting card with a little Ouija board in it.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
That's really clever. I really love it. Good sense of humor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the picture she had is like her just like double flipping off the camera. A huge smile on her face. So,
oh my god, I love this lady.
She seemed like a fun lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be afterlife friends with her.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome. All right, getting into some quick feedback. Jim seconded your recommendation, Matt, on Over the Garden Wall. We are going to watch that because I had talked about it with Jay before I read Jim's comment. But he says the recommendation was right on. They forgot to mention the main character is voiced by Elijah Wood. It's a nice kids show, but also good for adults. I love it. It's really well done. Matt, you also recommended Rosaline, which came out too late for the Shakespeare talk a few weeks ago, but is a worthwhile watch if you're looking for a date night in. It's taking a Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead approach to Romeo and Juliet, focusing on Romeo's ex and Juliet's cousin Rosaline. Caitlin Dever, who plays Rosaline, is charming as expected, and also Bradley Whitford co-stars as her dad. Though that's a good recommendation.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you know how Amanda and I at least love us some Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
I do. It's a real piece of theater.
As they say, every exit is an entrance somewhere else.
Yes, that is the thing they say.
That's on Hulu, and I think I might have to check that out. Thank you. Oh, hey, do they use Shakespeare vernacular, or is it, like, modern?
Is it iambic?
It's mostly modern, but, like, occasionally, like, there's scenes where, like, in the beginning of the movie, Romeo, like, meets up with Rosalind, and he's, like, speaking, like, like, kind of, like, like they did, and she's like, "Why are you talking like that?"
Okay, thank God.
It's mostly modern speech.
I like this even more already. Did I say last week I finished The Watcher? Yes.
We talked about
We
it.
did,
I
okay.
can't remember if it was because you had finished it or just that it was a thing you were doing.
Because I've also been doing, I moved on to Unsolved Mysteries season 3.
Oh man, you're really like going for it.
I kind of am. But it's really funny because I watched the first 3 and then I started watching a 4th one last night, and then I found myself the only person in my office for about 2 hours today. So I was like, well, on the second screen while I work, let me just put on the rest of that episode. And the whole time I'm thinking, oh my God, I've seen this before. I know about this case. I've heard about this case. I know what they're talking about. Was this on a Generation Y? Did I listen to another podcast that talked about it? And then I realized after it was over and it went on to another one, I was like, this also seems familiar. And I realized that I had somehow ended up watching season 2 again. I was like, well, that's an hour I'm never going to get back. Anyway, I'll let you know how it goes. I have finished the true first 4 now. And then I guess we can finish this up with an Andy update about his work week.
Okay, Andy writes in this work week in Andy's virginity. Hey, broads. It only took 2 months, but he finally showed up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well,
Plot twist.
plot twist.
He didn't look like he was held captive, but other than that, I didn't get to speak to him one-on-one to get some idea of what happened. What did happen is that he has transferred to another department. I'm supposed to get a temp this week, but I think you can't blame me that I'm a little reluctant to celebrate that news. I'm still 50-50 on them even showing up. Unfortunately, this update is a little in the middle of things, but I should have some more info next time. Hashtag I'm with hers, Andy. So he came back, but immediately went to another department.
I am curious to know what department.
Me too.
I'm curious to know. I would never be a good ventriloquist. I am curious. Now I just look like my dentures are falling out.
It's true. There's like a dark part to those teeth. It's very confusing.
I know. Well, there was the wax that you can just use to stick them on, and I was like, I'm not sticking anything onto my teeth.
Yeah, that seems
that's
like
smart.
a poor judgment call.
Yeah, my kids are going to need braces soon. I don't need to add veneers and braces to my own
insurance
teeth
doesn't
from
cover it for adults.
wax gone
Sure
wrong.
doesn't.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, super random that he came back for a different department. But I would love to know what department it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's none of my business, but on the other hand, I don't
Curious.
Is it
We're
one
invested
where
at this point.
attendance doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope the temp works out.
I hope the temp works out
I hope
too.
the temp shows up.
Yeah. That's actually, my first
Step one.
wish for you, Andy, is the temp shows up.
We had a new employee start, and within the first 3 days went on a medical leave for at least 6 months.
Really?
Wow.
We had took 6 months to fill the job initially. He was there 1 to 3 days, and then he's out on medical leave. We have no idea when he's coming back. And that was in March.
Does he? Wow, because it's now been 7 months then. Does he get paid for medical leave?
It's unclear.
Okay.
Right, because theoretically he might not have been like. I feel like a lot of companies have like a window that you have to work before you're eligible for the benefits.
Yeah, he transferred from another department, and it sounded like he probably knew before he left the other department that he was going to take a medical leave. Which, in that case, why did you take a new job?
Yeah,
because setting himself up for when he comes back.
So we have been without a person in his position for a year now.
Ugh.
Gosh, that's tough. That's really, really tough.
Yeah. Ugh, I'm sorry.
We'll see who gets the record on that.
Oh my God, yes.
Andy or
right. Well, it sounds like Judy's person has the record.
Judy's person is definitely ahead, but it's not over yet. So we'll see.
No.
So, and because you work for a state school, there's nothing you can do, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, theoretically, I think now that he's been gone 6 months, maybe we can possibly replace him.
Yeah.
But we may have to wait another 6 months. I'm not sure.
Bureaucracy, man.
Yeah.
But if he's like on some sort of medical leave, I'm sure he like needs the health insurance, which is why, again, health insurance shouldn't be tied to our jobs.
Right.
Yeah, I think after 6 months you transfer over to like long-term disability maybe, and then like the rules change, but then like there's laws about being able to retain your job for a year. I mean, there's
it's like employers have to hold your job. And at a certain point, you have to like reapply for your benefits.
I'm looking up right now because I know 3 months or less is short-term disability. Looks like short-term versus long-term disability. Okay, I was ill prepared to read through this. Short-term disability is a coverage that pays a percentage of a salary's employee when they are not able to work as a result of injury or illness or pregnancy, like my old job. I mean, you know, I guess. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Short-term disability. Oh, an employee receives short-term disability coverage for 9 to 52 weeks. The length of coverage is based on the policy the employee has. It kicks in sometime between 1 to 14 days after they're unable to work. That makes sense because at my old job, for me to get the short-term disability benefits when I was pregnant, I think it was started on week 2. Blah, blah, blah. Long-term disability. An employee receives long-term disability coverage for 5 to 10 years or as long as they are disabled until the age of 65. Okay. Well, that doesn't mean, though, that it starts at year 5. It just means that it is longer. It lasts longer. Okay. This wasn't helpful. I'm sorry.
Well, no, and there's something about like there's some federal law about like holding a job for a year kind of thing too.
Yeah.
But so who knows? And I have no idea where we are right now, but it's like so frustrating.
I can imagine. Is everybody pitching in to do their job or is it just not getting done?
Well, for the first 4 months, it was not getting done.
Oof.
Right. And then I'm sure after a certain point, you can't just keep waiting like the work.
Yeah, they've got somebody filling in part-time.
Part-time.
It's our communications person, which is not at all important.
Oh my God. Man. Well, I am sorry. That sounds awful. Well, Andy, Judy can feel your pain. Hashtag commiserate. Well, that wraps up the feedback. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about or discuss or bring up before we head out and go into the spooky Halloween world on our own? Yeah, I'm dorky, okay. We just watched the Abbott Elementary episode where one of the teachers that thinks he's cool learns he's actually corny. And it's actually great, and I felt heard.
I felt heard.
It's like, they see us! They see us!
I felt myself represented on television.
It's a great show if anybody is not watching it. I totally recommend it.
I am not, but I hear so much about it. I think I should.
It's very fun. It's very fun. And, it's 23-minute long episodes.
Oh, right up my alley. That's what I got attention span for these days.
Yep. And after we're done catching up on that, we have to catch up on season 2 of Ghosts with the Princess of Aldovia. Which, speaking of, we will be resuming our holiday movie watch this year. Date to be determined. We're talking about it. I don't think there's any new Aldovia this year, but there is the Lindsay Lohan movie.
Oh, and update. There is a Netflix movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. that was shot in my neighborhood.
No
I saw a trailer for it on Instagram and I was like, that's what they shot in our neighborhood. It's like a quinceanera Christmas, I think is what they're calling it.
That sounds promising.
So it is on my personal watch list. So I will be coming with that.
Okay. We will watch that. A Quinceañera Christmas. Is her quinceañera on Christmas Day?
Unclear, but Freddie Prinze Jr. is in it. And they shot it in my neighborhood. That's really all you need to know.
That's very
It
true.
looks like it like checks all the boxes of like a Christmas movie. Of a cheesy Christmas movie.
I'll watch it. I'm there.
Yeah.
There are so many cheesy new things on, because I've spent more time on Netflix recently than I generally do. And I'm kind of like, all right, there's a lot of things on here that I kind of want to give a chance to. There's some Zoe Saldana show.
Okay.
She's like an art curator in Italy or something.
I have not seen this.
I saw the preview for it yesterday when I went to turn on Unsolved Mysteries and selected the wrong season. Might watch that. We'll see. Might read a book. Who knows? Probably won't, though. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Does anybody have anything else they want to bring up before we go?
Nope.
All right. Well, then, everyone, thank you for joining us. Have a happy Halloween. My favorite holiday of the year. Woo! Sisters? Honorary blonde? I'm glad I can't return these teeth. I'm going to get a lot of fun out of these. Not gonna lie, I might return this wig. This wig is so terrible. I will never wear this again. The back is literally bald.
Oh.
Like if it wasn't pinned in, I would take it out and show you guys. But like, literally, that's how I could tell when it was just a clump. I was like, okay, there's no hair back here, so this has to be the front.
Oh, God.
I love the wig, Judy. It looks so good.
Yeah, yours is very good, Judy. I really like it.
All right. On that note, thank you all for listening. Thank you to the patrons, especially the ones that contribute a certain level, and that'd be Eckhart Igner, Tack from Tokyo, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, and Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. Thank you guys so much. If you guys have any feedback, any spooky, creepy stories, I'm talking to you, Tasia, and you want to share them, the broadcasters3@gmail.com, or give us a call, 331-276-2373, or you could just lazily leave it as a comment in the Facebook group or Instagram or something. Let us know. I guess start sending in your recommendations for Christmas holiday movies in general. That will be sometime in December. And then we'll take our general December break. On November 8th, we'll be joined by Melody Simpson of Melanin in YA, Young Adult Fiction. And she'll be joining us to talk about that initiative. And we're very excited, looking forward to that. And then, year's coming to a close, so can't believe that. Happy Halloween. Oh, now there's a black cat in my face, a gray cat. His life is gray. Anyway, on that note, everybody, though, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.